Hey guys, and welcome back to a new video, and in this video we will take a look to Nimul. Also thanks to Airman who lent me his account for the showcase. Oh, and before I forget to mention it, guys, look at his design. His design is just awesome. In my opinion, it's one of the best designs in this game ever. J-Ro, you really did a great job. Even though the 3D model looks like Adam from Record of Ragnarok, but whatever. But okay, without any further ado, let's take a look to the runes. And for the runes we are using the Charge Forward set for P-Tech plus 10% and the Robust set for P-Def plus 10%. By the way, instead of the Robust set you could think about using the Flash set for single target attack power plus 5. And instead of the Charge Forward set you could think about using the Sorcery set for magic attack power plus 10%. And the reason is simple, because Nimul has a transformation skill, and in his transformation his skills will become magic attacks that scale of pure magic attack. And without his transformation, his attacks are physical, means they are scaling of pure P attack, and they are also missile attacks. And in the first slot we are using a P attack rune, of course, with missile attack power plus 15. If you want to use a sorcery set on him, then you should use magic attack power plus 15 instead. And in the second rune slot we're using a magic attack rune, of course. As for the substat, you can think about using healing plus 15. Healing plus 15 is always nice, but it's not a must-have substat. But yeah, it would be the best choice. Then a P-Def rune, crit. What? Why crit?
Huh?
P-Def, Magic Def, HP and Agility. And by the way, yeah, just like I said, his attack scaling is based off P attack without his transformation, and it's based off pure magic attack while in transformation. Okay, now let's take a look to his gear setup. In the first slot we are basically using an HP gear, and this time we use Moonstar Armor for HP plus 431 and Choose Obtain plus 5. And that one also has a ability, Auto Regeneration, which casts Auto Heal on self. For raids you could also think about using Ring of the White Wolf. It also gives HP, but it also gives P-Tech plus 40, single target attack power plus 10 and modifies strong with gigantic plus 15. Then in the second slot we are using the VCR from his own Memento. Ring of Revolution, which gives P-Tech plus 60, magic attack plus 60, agility plus 10 and stun rest plus 50, and that one also has a ability, Genesis Wall Finis, which raises all status rests for 3 turns after appearing on map by 100. And if you don't have that one, you could think about using Ouroboros Metal, which also gives a small amount of HP, not really that necessary. The main reason to wear Ouroboros Metal is because of the P attack and magic attack plus 35 and the agility plus 8. But if you're already using Ring of the White Wolf already in the first slot, then you don't need to rear Ouroboros Metal because you already get P attack. And if you want to have something for magic attack as well, you could think about using Eye of Asmodai, the VCR of Morrigan's first Memento, and that one gives magic attack plus 50, modify strong versus wind plus 15 and fire unit all attack plus 10. So you have more offensive stats and more damage modifiers. Then in the third slot we are using the VCR of Sol's first Memento, New Book of Truth First Light, which gives agility plus 10, hit rate plus 20, missile attack power plus 6 and magic attack power plus 6. Just because of the missile and the magic attack power plus 6, just for some extra damage. And in case you don't have that one, then just use anything else on him in the third slot that gives either agility or some other damage modifiers. Or you could also think about using the Moonstar Armor in case you are using Ring of the White Wolf in the first slot already. Okay, but now let's take a look to his Mementos, and for the Mementos we are using his own Memento in the first slot. The Rare Birth of Light, and it gives HP plus 80 as base stat. And that one gives Modify against Gigantic Death plus 32, Max Choose plus 32, Single Target Attack Power plus 13, P-Attack plus 96, Magic Attack plus 96, Missile Attack Power plus 13, Magic Attack Power plus 13, and if you have that Memento at Maximum Break, then you get Skill Use Count plus 1. And that one also has a Vision ability, Final Flame Genesis. Fire missile attack on enemy and sets move to 0 for 1 turn. Range 6, high range 2. And if you have that Memento at maximum break, then the solution ability turns into Forging Flame Genesis. Fire missile attack on enemy and sets move to 0 for 1 turn, and if own HP is full, activates Engraved Hope Theorem as an extra action. Range 6, high range 2. So basically, if you have that Memento at maximum break, then the solution ability makes more damage because the attack modifier gets increased. And then you're also able to activate Engraved Hope Theorem as an extra action if your HP is full. And now let's take a look to the additional skill. Engraved Hope Theorem increases own CT by 50 as an additional action and reduces own cast time for 1 turn by 68. And if you don't have that one, or if you want to run a second Memento in the second slot in case he gets a 6th gate in the future, then you could think about using Emma's second Memento, A Wish Blown by a Light Wind, for Modify Strong vs Gigantic plus 24. Or Emma's first Memento, A Love to Tender, for some extra magic attack. Or Irene's Memento, Order and Darkness, by the way that one is normal pool. And that one gives you also some extra magic attack. Or Nika's Easter Memento, Chaotic Easter, and that one also gives you some extra magic attack. Okay, now let's take a look to his skills. At first, Time Genesis Cleese. Grants Quicken to self and raises missile and magic attack power by 20 while quickened, and not stackable. And then Crimson Genesis Firm, fire missile attack on enemies in area around self and grows more powerful with more targets. Area Specialist records 2, high range 2. Then Flame Genesis Regalia, free fire missile attack on targets with an area and sets move to 0 for 1 turn. Range 4, area diamond 5, high range 2. Then Genesis Inferno Gravis, extremely powerful fire missile attack on enemy. Range 2, high range 2. And then his last skill, Reformed World Insania. Transform to like type for 5 turns and change ability. And for the transformation and for the change ability, let's take a look to the database. Okay, so now here's his transformation, and yeah, now we can see magical and magic attack, not missile anymore. And stack scaling is now based off pure magic attack, just like I mentioned before. And now to his other skills, Genesis Arts, Twin Reason Blazar, Druid magic attack on enemy after moving and 100% hit, range 6, high range 2. Then Radiant Genesis Quasar, extremely powerful like magic attack on enemy and doubles own all attack for 1 turn before activation, and units are not lockable. Range 2, high range 2. The units are not lockable thing basically means that if you're casting the skill on an enemy and the enemy runs away, then the skill won't hit the enemy. Because just like the description says, it's not lockable. So you better think about twice before using that skill on an enemy. Then Light of Reason Elation. Like magic attack on enemies in area around 7 and grows more powerful with more targets. Area diamond 7, high range 2. Then Light of Creation Last Battle. Free like magic attack on targets with an area and sets move to 0 for 1 turn. Range 4, area diamond 5, high range 2. And now to his reaction that gets changed. Opposing and Eden's Fall. Deals back 150% of the damage taken by the enemy and also activated by skill attacks. Range 3, high range 2. And now let's take a look to his basics. Innovation Diva. Recovers 6% of own HP. Then Condemnation Luquiora. Raises strong with all sins for self for 1 turn by 200. And then his last basic skill, Logic Alteration Finis. Missile attack on targets with an area and lowers missile and magic rest by 20 for 3 turns, and it's stackable up to 2 times. Range 3, area cross 3, high range 2. And now let's take a look to his passives. At first, Overdrive. And that one raises P-Attack and magic attack by 50% and lowers P-Def and magic def by 25%. Then in the second passive slot, we are using Overdrive once again. And just like I said, it raises P-Attack and magic attack by 50% and lowers P-Def and magic def by 25%. And after max the second gate, this one turns into Principle of Reformation. And then that one raises P-Tech and Magic Attack by 80% instead of just 50%. And then it also raises Fire Unit All Attack by 20 and Light Unit All Attack by 20. And it still lowers P-Def and Magic Def by 25%. And now for his reaction, we are using Connection Rechater. When taking physical damage from an enemy, deals back 150% of the damage taken by the enemy. And it's also activated by skill attacks, range 3, high range 2. And now let's take a look to his gates. Okay, so which is the most important one? Definitely his second gate, so get 30% more P-Tech and Magic Attack, and also Fire Unit All Attack and Light Unit All Attack plus 20. After that, his first gate, also for a good amount of HP and also for more P attack and Magic Attack. And his last gate would be his third gate, and his third gate is actually pretty good. It raises Fire and Light Units max HP by 30%, Strong is Gigantic by 30%, and All Attack Power, Missile Attack Power and Magic Attack Power by 20%. But right, in case you're watching this in 1 year or something like that, then I highly recommend to take a look in the description or to the pinned comment in case he gets future buffs in Global. By the way, you can totally ignore the third gate, as for now just save your current charts for future gates. Okay, so now we're here at the Shimi Train Grounds and we're using the same setup as before. Oh, and by the way, just ignore these or not, I'm only using here for a better leader skill for 40% more P attack. But okay, at first normal hit, 7856, then Crimson Genesis Farm, 12,427, then Flame Genesis Regalia, 17,931, then Genesis Inferno Gravis, 45,307, then Logic Alteration Finis, 10,729, and then his last skill, Forging Flame Genesis, 23,887. Okay, not bad. Okay, but what happens after we use them with all of his own buffs and debuffs? Well, let's find out. Okay, now I used him with all of his own buffs and debuffs. Okay, at first normal hit, 12,159, then Crimson Genesis Theorem, 54,068, then Flame Genesis Regalia, 27,579, then Genesis Inferno Gravis, 69,288, then Logic Alteration Finis, 16,714, and then his last skill, Forging Flame Genesis, 36,535. Oh yeah, and this time I'm using Emil for 40% more magic attack. And I also changed the charge forward set to the sorcery set. Okay, normal hit, 8,897, then Twin Reason Blazar, 8,896, then Radiant Genesis Quasar, 59,318, then Light of Reason Elation, 12,325, then Light of Creation Last Battle, 17,958. Okay, not bad, but now let's take a look to his transformation with all of his own buffs and debuffs. Okay, so now I used him with all of his own buffs and debuffs. At first normal hit, 13,767, then Twin Reason Blazar, 13,766, then Radiant Genesis Quasar, 88,293, then Light of Reason Elation, 49,821, and then his last skill, Light of Creation Last Battle, 27,621. Not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, but what's my opinion about him? My opinion, he's a super strong unit, yeah. I mean, he's the first unit in the game that has a transformation which changes his element type. which makes him really unique. And also the cool thing is that he has some really high offensive stats like P attack 2000, magic attack 2100 and so on. And he also has a good amount of HP. I mean 9000 for a level 91 unit is definitely really good. And he also has two different types of attacks. At first physical missile attacks, and in his transformation he has magic attacks. And that can be good in some situations, like if the enemy has a resistance against missile attacks only, or if the enemy has a high magic resistance. So yeah, just like I said, for PvE he's great. For Arena I haven't tested him. I think he can be decent, but yeah, just decent. I mean, he has a strong fire missile nukes. So for Arena, if he's going to use his super strong missile attack, he might be able to one-shot 1 or 2 enemies. I don't know. For PvP, he could do the same, but many PvP maps have a damage cap. So I don't know if he will be that good there. And for raids, in some situations you can use him, especially if the enemy is a gargoyle. So overall, in my opinion, he's worth to raise, but you need to keep in mind that he's super expensive. I mean, Genesis units have a summon rate of like 2.5%. I'm not sure, I can't guarantee for anything, but let's say the rates for his banners are super low. So in average you most likely have to spend like 40 or 50k gems, and only if you get lucky. Okay guys, but I think that's it for this video. I hope you had fun, thanks for watching, and we see you in the next one. Next showcase will be Bianca, and the next summon video will be Nimul.